Okay. All right. Everybody should be able to hear me. I sound different because I had to use the gaming headset because my main mic has decided that it was going to say fuck you this morning after sound checks and after it had already been working. So, yeah, good old electronics. Great. Gotta love technology. So who am I saying good morning to this morning? There is a fuckwad good morning. Good morning to Draconith and a Temps Agency. And a Triname Girls in my chat, along with a G. Bronert and a Malachite. A good afternoon to Mariel Bell. And a good morning to Panina. So, yep, coming in loud and clear, I hope. I am 2 pages away. Morning Pixel Refresh. I am 2 pages away from the bulk of my site. Well, I can't exactly say bulk. The basic pages of my website from going live and me being done with that part. The store and all the links on the left-hand side of my website are not going to be live until after I move to Texas, and I can actually set up a workshop and take proper pictures of what I have made. I am also opening up negotiations for any artist that wants to make graphics for the Zazzle merchandise shop. Please, if you are up to doing that, also include all your contact information where people can get a hold of you to commission your work, because I am going to be putting that because I am going to be putting all that information in the description of the Zazzle shop to highlight any artist that makes graphics for the shop. Why? Because I suck at it. So, might as well, hand it off to people that are far better to do it to me. Apparently I have won the argument because he is over there eating his food now. He has decided that I am not going to finish touching my breakfast, which is every time I grab the plate, he stops eating his dog food and comes over here to beg, and when I stop eating and I put it up, he walks off and goes over to his dog food, because he is no dope. I don't have any tweets this morning. There wasn't anything being announced from any of the government agencies, just the usual rigmarole, this, that, and the other. I did do a collab with Triname about a week or 2 ago, and I highlighted my natural health channel that I have. Today, I was approached on Twitter by somebody who wants to debate me on veganism. So I'm just going to throw that out there. We are setting up a date and time. He says he doesn't need preparation. I know I do, because there are a lot of things I am anticipating him throwing at me, and I want to be prepared in my rebuttals. So I've got to do a little bit of research there and have my citations ready and everything, because I don't want to look like an idiot debating this person. And I already told him that if it was a debate involving talking over one another that was more of an argument than a debate, then I am not going to take any part in that, because those are not the debates. Actually, no, it was not Omnizoa. It was not Omnizoa. The name of this person is, I wish I would do it. Let me go to his thing. Thunder Bay personal trainer, Logan Blake. So there is that. Yep, so apparently he is a personal trainer. He's probably a vegan personal trainer. Oh, poor baby. So, yep, there is that. So I am going to be preparing for that debate, because I know the issues of protein and creatine and iron and all that is probably going to pop up, and I need to be ready. Yep, that might work. People on the internet are being assholes. Yes, that's nothing new. That is nothing new. But we revel in the assholery. Thunder Bay personal. It's from a video game. It does sound like it, huh? It does. The name of the personal training site does kind of sound a bit like a video game. I have got to agree with you there. Without further ado, let's get into the news, and starting out with the, roll the segue intro. intro by Ericor the Dragon. Thank you very much, Ericor. Let me see. Oh, morning, Callie. We start out with a story that landed on my lap last night, so of course I had to go digging and see what I could find. This is what I found. The 1st October in Las Vegas, panic ensued as shots rang out into a crowd for a country music concert. The shooter felled 58 victims and wounded approximately 500 more. The investigation seemed to go into full swing with press conference updates and timelines of what happened. The problem is timelines seem to conflict, and accountings of what led up to the death of the shooter never lined up. This could be why, on February 6, 2018, a federal judge unsealed approximately 300 pages of search warrant records which included a second named person of interest, one Douglas Haig. He is also calling for a full release of all records, including body cam footage. This was after District Court Judge Timothy Williams ordered the coroner to release the autopsy and has fined Clark County, Nevada coroner John Fudenberg $32,000 in legal costs for not releasing it to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, one of the local papers. The office, which was sued by the paper, said until the autopsy report was finalized, they would not release it. Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo stated he could not comment on a federal case. The Las Vegas Review-Journal reports the shooter scrubbed his own digital storage or concealed it. One burner phone was used, even though 3 phones were found in the hotel suite. Along with over 20 rifles, they found hundreds of spent cartridge cases, even more rounds of unspent ammunition, a homemade gas mask, a set of body armor, a holographic weapons sight, and other listed items. So that is what fell in my lap quite literally last night when I was on Twitter. That's what I have found so far. I would absolutely love to see a public release of the autopsy. I want to see if I can get my hands on that. Because Mitch Ronan and I in my Discord one night, we were looking at the pictures while this was still fresh in everybody's mind, and we were coming up with possible scenarios and what may have happened. And Ronan said, with the location of the rifle underneath the shooter, whose name I refuse to say, looks like he shot himself and collapsed on top of his own rifle. That was Ronan's prediction. Now, I would absolutely love to get a hold of the autopsy reports. I would absolutely love... Let me tilt this up so you guys can see him a little bit better. And this way. There you go. And there were other things that we were speculating on as far as the fact that he was not alone in doing this, that he had to conspire with someone else. So the appearance of a second person of interest is rather interesting. It's rather interesting, so my curiosity has been redoubled. I can't say it's been renewed because I've always been wondering what's going on with that. And the release of the body cam footage would lead to a lot more information as to what happened. Because let's face it, there was a lot of conflicting reports and eyewitness accounts as to what went on in the hotel. What happened, because we all got the impression, tinfoil hat speaking, that we were not getting the whole story. Too many things were tripping over each other, were conflicting with one another, just weren't ringing true or lining up. And those of us that were speaking amongst ourselves about this incident, so quadrupled, I've always been curious about what exactly happened in Las Vegas. And let's just say, even though they did press conferences and there was a lot of media coverage, you just never got the sense that you got everything that was going on with the Las Vegas shooting case back in October. There was too much that didn't seem quite right. So hopefully, with the release of these records, and hopefully the body cam footage as well, we'll be able to actually finally see what went down. So, on to the next story. All right. No on-duty attack of Border Patrol agent. In November, a Border Patrol agent was killed and another sustained traumatic brain injury. This prompted Trump to push harder for his wall, but after more than 650 interviews, location searches, and evidence collections, don't support a struggle or scuffle in any way, says the FBI El Paso field office in a statement. The National Border Patrol Office, let me scroll this up, The Border Patrol Union believes the two border agents were attacked in an ambush by rocks. The attack killed Agent Rogelio Martinez, who died of blunt force trauma, and left Agent Stephen Garland suffering head injuries and broken bones. Garland has trouble remembering the incident, probably from his traumatic brain injury. The El Paso Medical Examiner reported fractures to Martinez's skull, jaw, clavicle, and ribs, and there was bleeding in his brain. A Culberson County sheriff told the Dallas Morning News, a witness to the incident, that the agents could have been sideswiped. I'm going to look a little bit deeper into that. I've got to see if I can find on the internet what actually are the average injuries concerning being sideswiped with a vehicle, the wide range of injuries that are ensued. To see. G. Bronert, I agree, plus with witnesses possibly being paid off, who knows. Yes, there was a security guard that wanted to come forward and mysteriously disappeared. There was so much going on with that case, Bronert. They will rock you. This is a case, they're using this as a gotcha moment for Trump. Now, I've said several times on my show that Trump is famous for sticking his foot in his mouth, speaking without having all the facts first. He did tweet out that it was because of this that we needed to redouble efforts for the wall, and he did say that, the injury and the death of the Border Patrol agents needs to be a catalyst for a wall being built, paraphrasing the tweet, which was back in November. So he fully stuck his foot in his mouth this time because he spoke without knowing all the facts. Of course, he does tend to do that. That is Trump. What can you do? I think he needs a fact checker 24/7. I mean, the rest of us do. All right, here we go. Oh, no, wrong one. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, okay, hang on. Apparently, I did not get that one uploaded, so let's do this. Yay! A graphics blooper on the show, because it wouldn't be me without bloopers. Senate leader's budget deal faces opposition in both parties. Both parties, not just one. Yay! Because, why would it be just one? So now I'm going to put the picture up there. Let me see here. Pink. All right. You're going to get your ugly for the day. You have been warned. Because, yes, the brain dead walk. All right. The brain dead walk. Ooh, we have real life zombies. And one of them is named Pelosi. Come for the bloopers and stay with the news. Morning, Neil. Budget faces opposition from all sides. In an ongoing struggle to come up with a budget for the 2018 year and with the extension to expire at midnight tonight, both the Democrats and Republicans have wins for the concessions made, like an extra $300 billion for the Pentagon and domestic programs over the next 2 years. It is a win for Republicans due to more funding for military and national defense, and a win for Democrats who seek to strengthen and fix the infrastructure and combat opioid abuse. However, in the ever-increasing pressure from liberals, there is still an air of defeat in the Democrat camp in terms of the resolution of the Dreamer issue and the fact the budget does not address immigration. Leaders in the Senate wish to approve the measure today and send it to the House for confirmation before another shutdown at midnight. Progressives and activists have railed at Congress for leaving illegal aliens in limbo and not addressing them in the bill. Even Pelosi stood on the floor and showed her disdain in a day-long speech. I almost wrote bloviation, but that would have been injecting my opinion, which was not even necessary. Why? Because they are overlooking the glaring fact Trump wishes to sit with them and come to an agreement. And then there is the overlooked fact that immigration legislation is a separate issue entirely from a budget, which is meant to allocate funds for a smoothly running country. So there you have what's going on about the budget. You are 30 away from 1K. Oh, congrats, Jason. Good luck, and I hope you meet that 1K goal. And good morning. It probably means it's good. Yeah. I mean, they both got what they wanted in the budget for the most part. Neil, when I heard about this, I wondered if her speech included questions as to why people didn't call anymore and how many cats she has. Morning, UT33. Newly discovered Mayan city found. 20 million plus people live there, and over 60,000 structures. Still not fully mapped, never explored, plus a 7-story pyramid. Ooh, I gotta go digging into that and talk to my friend Carlos. That may be in tomorrow's news. I love that archaeology stuff. The dreamers need to start dreaming about filing for citizenship. I completely agree, and any illegal alien should be either, going through legal routes to become citizens, or they should leave the country. I don't have, I'm sorry, but I don't have any sympathy for people who are here for 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 fucking years and never filed for citizenship and never attained citizenship. And then you're sitting here bitching that you're being deported because, you're being torn away from your family. Well, if you would have become a naturalized citizen, that wouldn't happen. All right, so, and here's a little bit of good news for the day. Young coder builds app to help people with Alzheimer's. Emma Yang, who has played Carnegie Hall at the age of 6, set out to make an app for smartphones after her grandmother in Hong Kong started showing the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. I started coding when I was around 6 years old, Yang stated. One of the big things I really love about the app, let me scroll this up, about app developing and coding is that, it's really empowered me to do something to help her. Even if she's still declining, she can actually still stay connected with me. The app, one Timeless by name, uses facial recognition technology to help Alzheimer's patients remember who they are speaking to, and also notifies them if they're about to call someone whom they just spoke to. Ko Kalistra, the chief technology officer of Kairos, provided can't talk. My mouth is glitching. Provided the facial recognition software that powers the app. Yang hopes its ease of use will be able to help Alzheimer's patients everywhere. So, yeah, it is. It is really, really cool to see young people being this innovative. I mean, I don't mind a young kid showing me up if they come up with something this cool. I mean, could you imagine how many Alzheimer's people this can help? This can actually aid? Morning, Laura. How you doing this morning? So, yeah, there's that, which I think is absolutely wonderful. And a little bit of good news, which sort of, is a forerunner for tomorrow morning. Not that I'm trying to be sneaky or anything. Maybe. All right, so that's our news for the day. It's just, let me see what I can do here. It's nice to see young people leading the way and showing initiative and doing things to try and help other people. It's getting harder and harder when you look at the political climate nowadays to find people that aren't all about me, that aren't trying to police people's way of thinking or speaking, that aren't trying to censor people. In a sea of millennials and people that have been brought up under the guise of everybody's special, everybody gets a participation trophy, it is refreshing to see people like Miss Yang, who is trying to help other people. And she is of the younger generation that is coming after the millennials. That reports have coming out stated that they are a more conservative bunch than the millennials that we are constantly arguing with now. Because let's not fool ourselves. We're not debating with them. We're not discussing anything with them. We're arguing with them at this point because they don't want to listen. They think they're right. No matter what we say, it's not going to change their minds. Traname, Alzheimer's is scary. One of my tops on my things I never hope to experience. Yeah. The first time I was ever exposed to Alzheimer's, it was over 20 years ago. I was dating Ronan for the first time, and he brought me to this very house to meet his grandparents who raised him. We got out of the car to an immaculately manicured front lawn, a beautiful, quaint-looking house that was clean, homey, and felt absolutely comfortable. We walked in through the kitchen, and I met the most wonderful woman that I had ever met in my life, and that was his grandmother. Simply called her Granny. That's all she wanted me to call her. But there was a slight problem with Granny. Granny had Alzheimer's. He warned me of this on the way here. I had never met anybody that was experiencing any form of dementia, much less Alzheimer's. And I remember sitting in the kitchen as she was making tomato sandwiches. That's a southern thing. Morning, Viking sandwich wench. As she was making tomato sandwiches, and she must have asked me about 5 different times what I wanted in my tomato sandwich. And each time she asked me, I would answer it as if it was a brand new question. Ronan was a little less patient and a little more impulsive than he is now. And after we had lunch, he asked me how I had the patience for that. And I simply responded, she didn't ask for Alzheimer's. Why be mad at her? I mean, Alzheimer's is a disease that not only affects the person that has it. Alzheimer's is a disease that affects the people around them, because you're slowly watching the mind of someone you love wither. Laura Bose, my grandma had it. She didn't know who I was in the end, but she could remember stuff from 40 years ago perfectly. Exactly, that's what dementia does. G. Bronner, it's tough to see someone who was once so capable become so helpless. Yes, it is. It is. Both my grandmas had dementia. Ooh, I'm sorry about that, G. Bronner. I think one of his aunts, well, 2 of his aunts are exhibiting symptoms, but not being fully licensed in healthcare practitioning. I can't fully say for sure, but they do repeat themselves a lot. They do seem a bit confused, and they do seem unable to follow simple conversations, which is a few of the symptoms related to dementia. So let's get on with the rest of the show.
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
First recommended viewing on the list is Anahata Hearts, Buddhism, the 4 qualities of love. She goes through the 4 qualities and she explains them, and they're very easy to follow, very easy to understand. It is a very interesting video to watch. Viking Sandwich Wench. My father-in-law has dementia, and it's awfully sad. It is. It's awfully sad to see somebody decline like that. They go from the strong, whip-smart individual to somebody who struggles to do everyday things. It's really, really sad to watch. Next video on the recommended list is from Chairview, the first rule of Feminist Fight Club, where he actually takes on a broadly video about women who have literally made a fight club to fight against oppression by stripping down to their underwear and fighting themselves. Don't know how that's supposed to fight oppression, but there you have it. And Chairview responds to it in his usual flair. Let me see. Independent man. Male manager is now less likely to mentor women. In this era where everything is a fucking, feminist harassment issue, this was bound to happen. And he discusses the topic, and he discusses the story that surrounds the topic. I've been, quite frankly, since the first report started coming out about men not wanting to help women in the workplace, or team with women in the workplace, or aid with them in any way, I was sort of expecting it. They don't even fight, they just roll around the floor straddling each other. I know, right, Callie? Laura, they are supposedly standing up to the Tories. I should put not a feminist on my resume. Yeah. I mean, it was bound to happen, because they keep moving, or they keep changing the definition of what sexual harassment is, to the point where men are literally too afraid to approach a woman in a workplace to help them, for fear of offending these women, for fear of being called a harasser. So they just leave these women alone. What did they expect was going to happen? I mean, you bitch enough about sexual harassment, you keep changing what the definition is of sexual harassment, and you didn't expect men to start leaving you alone? They should just call it Hump Club. Yeah, exactly. And last on the agenda, he is feeling much better, getting over the flu that has knocked him on his ass. It is the Britisher, with a 43-minute long The Weeks That Were for early February, trying to cover all the bases of all the stories that he found. And for those of you that have not seen a Britisher video, be warned, he does the Rule Britannia theme, and it becomes an earworm for the next few hours. But the way that he presents these stories is very British, very nice, and very easy to understand, follow, and listen to. G. Bronner, I thought they were supposed to be strong women, yet they're always the victims. Makes no sense. Yeah, that wonderful dichotomy, right? They're walking oxymorons. We're independent. We don't need no man's help. How come we're not getting help from anybody? Maybe because, Mariel, no one would pay to see those women. Fuckwad. Always wear sunglasses so you can't be accused of stair rape. Exactly. Dracona. So many victims. Lol. Yes, exactly. Alright. And now, the moment of truth. The part of the show you've been waiting for.
I'm telling you guys, it's wrong. It's wrong! It's wrong!
And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Cancer from Cali. Dun, 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 dun. You get to hear a dramatic reading from yours truly. And I've got to shrink this so I can actually see this, and so can you. Alright. Sunglasses won't help you when you're accused of thought rape. Oh, thought rape. Oh, morning hellbound. Alright. Out of the Huffington Post, we have black people need more representation and fewer representatives. By Janelle Harris, guest writer. Oh, now I've got to put on my glasses because now that I've shrunk the type, I can't fucking see it. Oh, bloody hell. Sawyer Bonnerley was an art to watch. My mama, home on a rare half day from work, was flipping through our local TV channels and seeing a new black ice skater hurried to record her on a VHS tape she reserved exclusively for classic movies and occasional Oprah Winfrey shows. After I got in from school, she slid it in the VCR. Watch this little black girl, she said, as she smiled down at me. She's amazing. Sawyer glided onto the ice, all poise and confidence, her mahogany skin shimmering against the man-made glitters and sparkles of her sequin costume, and posed for her music to start. It was something classical. Ice skaters always use classical music. But she... Good afternoon, Jason. But she moved around the rink, less like a ballerina on blades and more like a bedazzled superhero. She was sturdy and compact, like me, and the standard toe loops and sow cows incorporated into a routine took on a completely different look when they were performed by Sawyer's body. They were more powerful, more athletic, more demanding of space. Good morning, Numbed Skull. Then, like a ninja warrior acrobat, she lifted herself off the ice, tossed her frame against the air, and tumbled into a perfect aerial backflip to land on a single leg. She remains the only professional skater of any gender to successfully achieve that feat. Bullshit! Bullshit! I call bullshit! Sawyer was Black Girl Magic before it had a name and a hashtag. There was one other figure skater that did a backflip on ice. It was a he. I can't remember his fucking name, but it was a he. Sheesh. Broke character. Here we go. This week, the Winter Olympics will commence in Pyeongchang, South Korea, and magnificent athletes are adding their names and credentials to the black history we're already celebrating this month. Mamie Bainey, the first black woman to qualify for a U.S. Olympic speed skating team, Sion Adegun, Ngozi Onwumere, and Akwoma Omeoga, the first Nigerian bobsled team in the Winter Olympics. Where the hell do you practice bobsledding in Nigeria? Erin Jackson, the first black woman to join the U.S. Olympic long track speed skating team, and that just for 4 months after she shook up the sport. Maggie and Lord Bear should do a dramatic reading together. Oh my god. Some other young girl will watch them compete. They will be someone else's Surrey Bonelli. Hi, Hunley. What the fuck did I just walk into? No, I do dramatic readings of cancerous articles. Hunley, you happen to walk into the middle of a dramatic reading. We talk often about why representation is important, and it is. But there's a difference between having representation and having representatives. Representation throws a spotlight on what's already great about blackness, but it is not often seen, and not often enough seen, much like the majesty that will unfold at the Olympic Games. Representation gives us films like Gold Strip that highlight our humor, and Black Panther that highlights our power and creativity. It wasn't a black person that came up with Black Panther. Representation let us see regular, deregular girls like Cardi B rise to mainstream success. Representation brings blackness from the outskirts of culture into the mainstream for everyone to appreciate, and for black people especially to rejoice in. Juice. Lovely. No, not yet. Representatives, on the other hand, are a conciliatory gesture to create the illusion of inclusion and appreciation. J. Crew puts black girls in bad hair and makeup and expects us to be thankful just to be on screen. ABC throws one black contestant for a season of The Bachelor, but she's likely leave without a rose within the first 2 weeks. Quickly forgotten, H&M puts a black boy in its new coolest monkey in the jungle hoodie, seemingly without thinking twice about the implied racism. Good morning, Tim. It's a dramatic reading of a cancerous HuffPo article. That's what's going on. It's the next article. Well, at least we're not begging for reparations this time. Representatives are manufactured in the boardrooms of companies and institutions with little incentive to understand and much less celebrate black people, but with the full intention to poach and commoditize black culture and its $1.5 trillion in consumer spending power. They toss a black person into their marketing mix to dodge the wrath of black Twitter and the ire of the black think pieces because, look, diversity. And black people take these potentially lucrative opportunities because they work hard and deserve to be seen, or at least be paid. But that does not mean it doesn't hurt the tokenized. And it hurts in more ways than one. Okay, you're not going to burst into a rendition. No, I am not going to burst into a rendition of A Spoonful of Sugar. Yeah, he seems to be wondering. He wants to play fetch. Often, this act of finding race representatives excludes more people of color than it makes opportunities for them. Model Chanel Iman spoke out about designers who've dismissed her from fashion show opportunities, telling her they've already found a black girl and don't need another one. Actress Zoe Kravitz has been open about turning down stereotypical roles of a girlfriend or someone in the projects. Oh, this is hard to keep up. How much more is this? Okay, we're almost done. True representation is intentional, purposed, meaningful. It seeks to implement lasting change in the way black people are portrayed, in the way our stories are told. Will you hush? Sorry about the yelling. I know I just ear raped a whole bunch of people. I forgot to mute first. Alright, seeing a face that looks like mine doing amazing things on screen, in books or in sports. Excuse me a second. You think he's being the judge of the cancer, huh? Arguing with me the way he does. Yes, like a toddler, he argues with his mother. Yes, Zeus will be heard. Yeah, I know. Alright, where are we? Let's see. Seeing a face that looks like mine doing amazing things on screen, in books or in sports reminds everyone, not just black people, that we are more than our struggles. We are our successes. Then quit being a fucking victim. Hello. You want to succeed? Succeed. With the reading of the Black Story, I mean. I know, right? Nah, I could never send him to the glue factory, Callie. Oh, and I think that's all the cancer I can stand for the day. Let me scroll down here and get this off the screen. And do the announcements for the live streams. There is a new live stream. Yeah. And ended it did. Ended it did. Alright, so there is a new live stream announcement. Let me see. The Great Debate. All these times are Eastern Standard Time. 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. Numbed Skull is the Great Debate. At 11, which means he's starting the cartoons 8 minutes ago. Tonka Saw does the Kumite. At noon Eastern Standard Time on Reading Wren's channel, she has Wrenilations, which is pretty much a chill stream. You do a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. They game, they convince, they bullshit. At 8 p.m., grab some beer and peanuts for Hellcats on Jason Brazeal's channel. Lords of the Night is being hosted by Some Dumb American at 9. And at 10:30, Minions of the Zoo has their night stream. So those are your live stream announcements. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Is that 2 in the afternoon on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Numbed Skull? I know, the Kumite starts at 11 in the morning and it just tends to go and go and go and go. Alright. I will adjust the listing for tomorrow. I'm always on Wren's afternoon stream. I don't even have to ask. No, she's cool. She's cool. Wren is cool. And they do all kinds of things in that afternoon stream. Below, if you guys are new to the chat, welcome. If you're back, welcome back. Thank you for joining me for the morning brew and a very vocal dog this morning. In the description below are all the links to all the live streams that are going to be going on today, the highlighted creators, and the link to my hosted website. That is right, I am no longer on Wix because I got pissed off and went searching for a provider because Wix wanted to charge me for using my PayPal to process purchases on my website. I wasn't even going through their cart. I was going through my PayPal, and they wouldn't let the transaction go through because I wasn't paying for their premium service. Never mind the fact I wasn't using their shopping cart. So that's why I switched from the Wix site to the site in the description. Also, the news, let me see, the home page, the news and commentary, and the health and wellness pages are all up. The health and wellness pages, let me see if I can show you guys this. Give you a little preview, as it were, and explain the health and wellness part. So let's see here. Coming down before we leave. Before I leave to go do some other work. Keep wanting to call, leave before oh, nope. Ha! Alright. 18 people watching. Thank you for coming, 18 people. Supposedly 18 people. Alright, fine. Nope, go right ahead. Announce it, dear. Let me see here. Health and wellness. Alright, there we go. Let me see if I can. Whew. And cut the live streams off. Alright, no. Website. Thank you. I have to scroll this over so you can see it because I haven't completely. I got to figure out how to resize this thing. Alright, you mouse over and this goes to the channel. This goes to the blog. Now what I want to discuss is the coming soon part. As I get more interactions and more people coming to the website and more people interacting with the website, I will be adding a forum and I will be adding an online classroom and making workbooks and stuff for people who want to take quick classes on herbalism, aromatherapy, natural health, and nutrition in general. This is going to happen after I move because I'm going to start doing the research for all these workshops and stuff, all these workbooks and things after the move. That way I have a little more time to get everything out and schedule my day. Tranime Girl, it is nearly the 1-year anniversary of my SRS, so I am taking questions for what will hopefully be a live stream, but possibly a video if I can't use the equipment. Hop on Twitter and ask. Use hashtag SRS1year. Alright, cool. Selling cars a lot, I think. So that is the plans for this particular page that you're looking at. Tonka needs gainful employment. Oh, you forgot to put your work shirt on. Oh, you forgot to put your uniform shirt on. So as you can see, when you shrink the page, it doesn't necessarily shrink. I am going to have to tweak that after I get the most, everything done. I'm sure there will be people that can help me with that, because we do have a coder in my Discord. And speaking of Discord, any of you new to the chat who want to join in the Coffee Club chat after the show is over, I am putting the Discord link in the live chat. Let me see here. Pop that up and pop this up. And I don't think anybody popped into Twitch. Nope, nobody popped into Twitch. I had the sads. Okay, let me see here. It's dick laughing. Alright, so on that note, my friends, may your coffee ever flow, may your caffeine be ever strong, and may you have a thoroughly terrific Thursday. Take care, my coffee nuts.